I'm going to give everybody an expression, a card like this.
These learners are taking part in an activity to assess their understanding of algebraic expressions. The activity is being observed by other practitioners.
Yeah, and still 2. So get yourself... It's a good revision activity because it allows you to draw out of the students what they know and sometimes importantly what they don't know.
2 times 2 minus 1, so it's 1. 1 times 2. 2. 2. So you're 2. I'm 36. I'm small, so I'm down.
So put 2 instead of the n. And what have you got?
You're on 6, so you'd be there next to
Wait, there.
2.
The 2's on the bottom, isn't it?
So 2, so you've got a half.
Where does the half go? I was learning what individual students knew, and I was also learning about how they could explain it to their peers when their peers were stuck with something. And that was really good to hear that, how they explained, for example, how to multiply negative numbers or how to work out a power. Next number is 1.
I've got... Yeah. What is it, 1?
You're 1.
I've got 2. Is it 1 times 1?
It's always going to be
1 times 1's 1.
It's easy to differentiate. You can change the cards and give people easier or harder terms to use. And you can change the numbers you substitute. So I usually start off with whole numbers, which is a bit easier, and what can we learn from that? And then it gives you the possibility of introducing the likely suspects of negative numbers and fractions. I had a list of values that I might have used, but I adjusted that list according to what the students gave me and what they understood. 0.5, right, you've 0.5.
0.5 times 0.5. How'd you do that?
I don't have a clue.
What I mean by the likely suspects is their persistent misconceptions about operations with negative numbers and decimal fractions. And they often come up in an activity like this. But it also allows peers to help each other and supply information. What have you got?
0.
What's in the brackets? 0.5
minus 1.
Minus 1. Yeah, so what's 0.5 minus 1? What we need to do is make it help them engage with their own learning. It's really good to allow, I think, research students to display what they know, not just us telling them, and that's great, and that feels good for them and it shows. My last number is 0. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm 0. I'm 1.
0.
I'm 1.
I love that activity because the students enjoy it. But also it gives me as a teacher lots of information about what I might have to follow up on again. So I might need to do something about negative numbers again. I probably need to build in some work on decimal fractions again. So if you put a 0 instead of the n, that would be 1 over 0. Or 1 divided by 0. Do that on the calculator for me and tell me what you get. Think about what you're going to say, how you're going to introduce it. Think about what numbers you might use and be prepared to adjust, I think, yeah. And sometimes the hardest part is getting them up, but it's really valuable. So very well done and very well remembered. So thank you very much for doing that.